Baltimore, it's been 2 years since a fire destroyed a NuLu apartment building, leaving several people without a home. Now, nearly a dozen former residents have filed a lawsuit against the building's owners. The fire happened in February 2024 at 310 at NuLu Apartments. According to the fire report, crews were first called about smoke inside a unit. Firefighters found a filter in the HVAC unit that had come into contact with the heating coils, causing that furnace to overheat. The apartment's maintenance team reportedly cut the filter to fit the furnace because they got the wrong size. Firefighters warned this would be a fire hazard, and then just hours later, the fire ignited, destroying 37 units. The building had to be demolished. We've obtained a copy of a lawsuit that was filed February 5th. 11 former residents are suing the property managers, 310 NuLu Partners, and Buckingham Management, LLC, for gross negligence and breach of contract. They claim management failed to take care of the building's inspections, maintenance, repair, and operation, and that they failed to prevent, detect, contain, or mitigate the fire and the resulting damage. Investigators highlighted the building and had an automatic extinguishing system that didn't go off during the fire. Today, we reached out to the Metro Arson about the cause of the fire. According to a statement from the chief arson investigator, quote, "The cause was undetermined as they were never allowed to go inside to do a scene examination due to it being unsafe." Former residents are asking for a jury trial and payment for damages and attorney fees. A hearing date has not been set.